For so many of us who grew up in the scapegoat role and are black sheep of our family, we have this self-hatred that is just like this hardcore taskmaster kind of mentality. It's like, if we can't get it perfect, then there's also the fuck it, I'm not going to do it. This video is about what for me is central to the recovery of scapegoats and black sheep, and that is learning a self-nurture, which feels like a different language that I was never taught and I've had to learn. This is about how I am learning to nurture myself, love myself, treat myself in a way that is not self-punishing. My name is Mark, this is The Emotional Alchemist. I help black sheep, scapegoats and empaths recover from those roles, put down the baggage of the past, and find the joy and happiness in life that we are all looking for. As I look back at so much of my life, I can see that I had this attitude towards myself which was just completely self-punishing, this self-hatred, because what I took on early on was that I wasn't good enough, that nothing I did was good enough. And actually, more than that, I took on that I was wrong. Not the things that I was doing were wrong, not the things that I got wrong. It was that there was this core belief that I was wrong, and no matter what I did, it wasn't good enough. And that fueled my addiction and fueled this self-hatred. For me, what ended up happening a couple of times, maybe several times, I hit a rock bottom, which was basically where I was so out of line with any sort of nurture for myself that the universe went, hey, stop, boom, look at this. And it was like, and now even I'm 14 years sober and I'm still learning that this message in my head, which is not mine, which was learned early on and says, it has to be perfect, and if it's not perfect, you're not perfect, and therefore you're not good enough. That is just impossible to live with. So I get to say it. If I just name it, I do this with friends and I do this with other people who are recovering from the scapegoat role, because when I speak to other people like me, and this is why I love this channel, I love the Escaped Goat Club on Facebook. When I speak and when I talk to them, I see myself reflected in what they say to me, and then I get an insight in what I need to do in order to recover from this crazy voice in my head, which was imprinted early on. And we live in a society which is predominantly, unless you achieve, unless you are this, or this, then, I mean, if we look at all of the most successful people, they are, it's achievement, which is why we remember them. I was thinking about this, even Mother Teresa. Now, she was doing what she did because she was coming from her heart, but we remember her because she was the most notable, the most famous person. And that achievement, because if we all did what she did, then she wouldn't make news. And she was amazing and incredible, and what she did was phenomenal. But it's like, she helped nurture other people. If I can, and I help nurture other people, the bit I really struggle with is the self-nurture for myself. It's like, as an empath, I really see other people's pain, but if I'm denying my own pain and find it difficult to meet my own needs, because essentially self-nurture is meeting my own needs, understanding those places where I've been hurt, where I need to heal, but also the everyday actions that seem, when I get up in the morning, I make a cup of herbal tea. I blend my own tea. For me, that's a radical act of self-care, because I'm thinking, in my mind, it's like, okay, get up, drink water, start work, do it now. There's that. That's the voice. But if I can, and spiritually, completely disconnected, and especially when I make these videos, my purpose really is to speak on camera. It's first thing in the morning. I don't think I look so good, but for me, making these videos is an act of self-care, actually self-nurture, because I know my day is going to be better from having spoken on camera already this morning, and I mean, someone said it yesterday. I mean, they put in a comment that they said, you've made my worst fears come true, and that is that they need to start making videos. And I'm like, you know, self-expression for so many of us is so difficult. And if I can't, you know, if I can say it first thing, if I can tell you this morning, I don't think I look so good. I didn't sleep so well. My eyes are red and puffy, and I feel a little bit tired. But I have to name the truth of the situation, which is okay. And that's my truth. Maybe you're going to go, Mark, you look fine. But the feelings I have inside me, and I need to nurture in order to, so I'm not pushing those away. If you weren't allowed sadness or fear or anger, and you were carrying shame about having anger or fear or sadness about, those are normal everyday emotions. I look back and I was like, oh, I had shame about all of them. And I'm like, but they're totally normal. If something sad happens, it's appropriate to feel sad. If something happens, someone comes up and punches me in the face, then likelihood is I will feel some sort of fear or anger or whatever it is. But we're expected as scapegoats not to feel that. That's like saying someone punches you in the face, but you're not allowed to feel the pain in your face. It's like, well, it's totally normal, in exactly the same way that feeling that fear and shame is totally normal. When I can name it, when I can say, I have sadness because a lot of sad stuff has happened. I have fear because a lot of fearful stuff has happened. And I have anger because a lot of stuff has happened that it's appropriate to feel angry about. The question is, what do I want to do with that? Because I want to heal. Naming it for me is the first thing. If I can just say what the feeling is, it's the beginning of my recovery, because then I can check it in with someone else and they're likely going to go, yeah, totally understandable you feel that way. It's crazy. And then I can work towards a self-nurturing, self-loving solution. And when I do that on a daily basis, I am heading away from the scapegoat role. I am in the escaped goat role. And when people prod me or throw things at me, metaphorically, I can just see it, know that I am whole, becoming whole, and say, sorry, this isn't mine. Just hand it back gently. And not have to react from all of those deep wounds, because they're healing one day at a time by me learning to love myself, which feels like a foreign language. For me as a scapegoat, black sheep, it's about saying, my name's Mark. My channel is the Emotional Alchemist. It's a bit weird, but then I'm an individual, and this is my individual expression into the world. That's why it's such an amazing act of self-love, and I encourage anybody to do the same thing. The shame and the fear about showing up on camera and showing you who I really am, that's some stuff. The more I do it, the more I recover, the more I feel better, the more I find other people like you and me, my tribe, and that I really appreciate. If you want to see another video on scapegoating, specifically how to respond to family instead of reacting, it's here. Thanks for watching.